So we said that we will not allow a dealer to sell a car till he has a proper workshop with spare parts certified to be functional. We opened only 16 dealerships in the first year. Next year we did another 18 or 20 dealerships. Yes. Many of the car companies start all India sales without having any infrastructure all India. Because we were also concerned with the profitability of the dealer. So if the dealer is not going to make money, then ultimately that will impact on our business.
Let's discuss the approach to customers. Now, one of the things that you have highlighted is building a long-term customer loyalty and not really going for the short-term gains. And it is all about even taking steps in the organization which you subordinate the short-term goals to ensure that the long-term loyalty of the customer stays. I think the best example is Maruti itself, and where you have built a decisive competitive edge by making the customers feel attached to the company, because the experience of not just buying the car but owning it throughout the entire life, which is spare services, all those touch points, you build processes that he experiences that in a way that no other guy can copy. And when you build that, you create a long-term competitive edge.
Sure.
So the question is, what is the approach that the promoters need to take when it comes to customer orientation? Because it's again a very misused word, and we have a lot of posters out there saying that you should be customer oriented. But based on experience, what exactly needs to be done?
You see, we need to recognize, everybody knows this actually, acquiring a new customer requires far more resources than retaining a customer. If you want to get a new customer, you have to spend much more effort and money on getting him than just in retaining an existing customer. So you have to have policies which will maximize your chances of an existing customer remaining loyal to you. Some of the experiences which I had as a car owner before joining Maruti actually shaped the policies which we followed. Things like servicing, like let's start getting the car, which was a new car. You remember before Maruti came, all cars were driven from the factory to the customer destination. Yeah. Cars are driven 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, 1,500 kilometers. In those days, you were required to do an oil change after 500 kilometers and a service after 500 kilometers. None of that was done. So those cars actually came, they were not...
If you feel like buying a second-hand car.
They were not also really what they should have been if they had been looked after the way they should have been done. Right from the beginning, we said no driving of cars. We started with this trucks and later on railways and all of that.
And nobody was doing that at that point of time?
Nobody was doing it.
And it's primarily because, okay, we're going to spend more because we're going to make the customer feel good.
It actually was cheaper also.
Okay.
The drivers misused the cars on the way.
Okay.
They would pick up passengers, charge them money, deviate from
the new car.
How could you not stop it? How could you stop it? If a driver is coming from Calcutta to Delhi,
what he does in the middle.
How do you know what he's doing on the way? So that was one part of it. The ability to service a car and to get spare parts. Now, if I am a car owner and I buy a car and something needs to be changed, a filter or something else has gone bad, I don't want my car off the road for days on end while that part is being procured. Or I don't want to drive 12, 15, 20 kilometers to a service station. I mean, these are,
Yeah.
if you look at it, what you would want as a car owner.
Yeah.
You just think of yourself that, look, if I was buying a car, what would I want? And we used common sense to say that the Japanese have the same way, by the way.
Yeah.
So we said that we will not allow a dealer to sell a car till he has a proper workshop with spare parts certified to be functional before.
That's a very interesting, because we know of the companies which are struggling because once you have a great product and you say, well, let me sell as much as possible. But what you're trying to do is, not being greedy. You knew your product was great, by the way, and there is actually a great demand for it. But doing things right, even at the cost of slowing down to build that long-term impact, is really the big difference.
We started sales only in 16 cities in the first year. We opened only 16 dealerships in the first year. Next year, we did another 18 or 20 dealerships.
Somebody would say you're not
Today,
very ambitious.
Many of the car companies start all India sales without having any infrastructure all India. We went year by year expanding our network. We ensured that when we started sales, a dealer had enough products to sell to make it viable for him. Because we were also concerned with the profitability of the dealer. So if the dealer is not going to make money, then ultimately that will impact on our business. Because dealer is not going to do business to make a loss. Then he will adopt some wrong practices to make more money.
Yeah.
And people will then say Maruti is no good. So from the beginning, our approach was that dealers, including their workshops, must be profitable. So they must have enough cars to sell. That's why we spaced out the opening of dealerships and limited the number of dealerships, so that as production increased, we kept increasing more dealerships.
Yeah, I think the way the rollout happened in a very phased manner, that is also something to learn, because that's what is building that long-term loyalty. Because the long-term matters more than the short-term. That's the Eastern approach that you're highlighting.
We don't want to have unhappy customers.
Yeah.
Why would I start a company and start by having unhappy customers?
Yeah. And in the long run, you stand to gain, because that's the, again, you're not bothered about that money coming in. You're trying to build up that company.
In the beginning, as you know, Satya, the car had a huge premium. Perhaps many car companies would have increased their prices. That if the car is actually selling for ₹1,00,000, why am I selling it at 52,000 rupees? Could have made it 60, 70, 80 and maximized. We didn't do that.
We just want to ensure that it feels fair.
We want to keep
fair.
our price intact.
Yeah.
We want to build, the idea was to build demand. That if the price is kept low, more and more people will buy this car. We wanted to build demand. And that's what happened actually.
Yeah.
The demand kept growing. People who bought the car made money.
By doing
And because they made money, other customers said, let me also buy a car.
It's like asset that you can sell
So
off.
it actually helped us in the sense that the demand for our products grew.